there are people in the world that think everything is running just as it should. And I think we're very curious to what's wrong with the world right now in the most specific but broad sense at the same time.
And I think part of what's wrong with the world is some people think it's running fine because they're taking it in a direction which allows them more extraction, more profits, more control. Mm-hmm. And that's all they're looking for. And all their measures confirm that to them all the time. Yeah, whether it's growth measures or it's returns on investment measures or it's gambling on Wall Street with fictitious finance. It's all doing so well. Mm-hmm. And even when it collapses, then society bails them out. 13 trillion, if I remember the 2008 Wall Street crash was. I think what's really wrong is that for 500 years, a tiny group of desperate people started to go around the world and gave themselves the right to conquer. Colonialism, the papal bull that basically said, after Columbus had set sail and lost his way, he was coming to India. He wasn't going to a new continent. That's why all the First Nations, with all their different tribal names, are called Indios, yeah? Mm-hmm. Because he thought he'd arrived in India. And if you read the Papal Bull, yeah, it's basically saying, go conquer whatever territories you can and civilize the barbarians and finish them off if they refuse to get civilized. And I think this idea of civilizing people, I think is at the root cause of so much, including what's happening today. Because there's some people who really think they're more civilized than the rest, rather than seeing us all as earth beings, as equal human beings, diverse but equal. In my worldview, equality and justice is not about uniformity. It's not about sameness. It's not about being exactly identical. It is about freedom to be who you are. And then, of course, I think 500 years of colonialism, and we could call it the Columbian complex, and then 200 years of fossil fuels, actually to accelerate and expand the empire. What was the coal doing? The coal was doing two things: running the ships further to get more slaves, and shifting production to England through an industrial mode.
Right.
Destroying everything. It's not that we weren't wearing clothes. India was the capital of textiles, all destroyed for colonialism and industrialism. And then you would add the recent deregulation, which is called globalization. But it's not globalization of humanity becoming much more deeply in deep solidarity, but it's really corporations saying, let's just trash every law, every policy, every value that comes in our way. So it's really globalization of greed and corporate power. And if you look at, 95 and onwards when WTO was created, just look at every graph, it's just shooting up like this. Wow. Emissions, pollution, inequality, unemployment, anxiety, negative identity politics. It all starts to explode. And till we resolve that, till we resolve economics as first and foremost the art of living, which its original meaning is oikonomia, oikos, the art of living on this beautiful planet. And secondly, restore the economics to democracy, We can't have economic dictatorship and pretend democracy. It will not work.